What up, guys? Your boy here once again, classic way speaking. You know how we do it. We simplify, decomplicated. All right. So we are going to start off with our pre-market analysis. And the first pair that I'm going to analyze for you is XAU USD or gold. So let's dive into it. Now, gold, I'm going to begin the analysis on the weekly time frame. So what do we have here on the weekly? We have the weekly upper zone, the mid-range zone, and then the lower zone. Let's put meaning into the weekly time frame as quick as possible. Now, the weekly time frame price give us a push to the upside, which was higher high. It dropped down for higher low, and then it has made a continuational push, breaking above the previous higher high over here on the weekly time frame. Now, after the break above to the upside, are we going to see a continuation of this move, which will make contact with the resistance as higher high, or are we going to see a retest here on the weekly time frame as higher low before price goes all the way to the upside? Now, let me answer that question. If you look closely at the weekly time, when price made this push all the way to the upside, it has given us what? A bearish engulfing candle along the way. So this bearish engulfing candle is telling us that what? Buyers will not be able to push the market continuously to the upside as higher on the weekly, but instead, we are definitely going to see what? A retest as higher low here before price goes all the way to the upside. All by the courtesy of this what? Bearish engulfing candle close. All right, so now that we know the price has given us what? A bearish engulfing candle close, which is a reversal candle, and is bringing the market all the way down as retest or higher low here on the weekly. Then what are we going to do? We are going to what? Find entry to capitalize on the retest before it completes on this what level of sensitivity, and then look for more buys again to the upside. So gold, we are looking for selling opportunities that will bring us all the way down to this what support level. All right, let's take it further to the daily time frame and have a closer look of gold again. All right, so gold taking it all the way to daily time frame. Okay, so this is the daily time frame of gold. Now, gold on the daily time frame, let's put meaning into it as well. Now, if you look closely at the daily time frame, we have the daily upper zone and the daily lower zone. What has happened on gold on the daily? On the daily time, we could see that initially price was in an uptrend. Why? Because we saw a push to the upside, which gave us a higher high. We saw higher low, equal high again, equal higher low, another equal high. Price came back for another equal higher low, but it couldn't continue the move further to the upside. Instead, sellers have been able to break below the daily support level all the way to the downside, and has even closed below it. So this tells us that what? Sellers are strong over here on the daily time frame. So if you look at the daily, you can see what? A clear break to the downside. So this break below the daily support level also tells us that indeed price is coming back for retest on the weekly as higher low before it moves continuously to the upside again. All right, let's take it all the way to the forward time frame and understand what the forward time frame is doing before we can find entry below the daily support level back to the weekly resistance as higher low here on the what? On this particular zone. All right, so let's take it all the way to a forward time frame and then prepare for entry to the downside on gold. All right. So go taking it all the way to the forward time frame. All right, so this is the forward time frame on gold. Now, gold on the forward time frame, let's put our final touch on this pair. What has happened on the 4 hour? Let's explain. If you look closely at the forward time frame, price what? Moving in a downtrend. Let me explain the forward to you. If you look closely, this is where the downtrend began. When price broke below, give us what? A lower low, a lower high, equal lower high. Sellers came in very strongly, broke below, came all the way down here as what? A new lower low, and we are going to see what? Another lower high before price drops all the way to the downside. So gold, we are expecting price to move continuously to the upside to what? To give us a retest of the daily support level as resistance or lower high before it can be able to sell all the way to the downside. So gold, this is our full and complete technical analysis. A very beautiful setup, and that is what we are going to go with. All right, so what will potentially make this setup invalid for what? Entry. Now, if price goes all the way as retest or lower high on the daily support level, and then we don't see the candle confirmation that we need to see before we sell, then this setup becomes invalid for entry. What are the candle confirmations that we need to see before we start selling on the retest or the lower high? They're the bearish engulfing candle, significant pin bar, or evening star before we sell over here all the way to the downside. So gold, this is our full and complete technical analysis. All right, so let's move to the next pair on good very quick. Let's look at the next pair on the list for the day. Okay, so up next is USD. Let us also dive into it from the higher time frame. Now, USD, we have the monthly upper zone, the mid-range zone, and then the lower zone over here as well. Now, let's talk about USD here on the monthly time frame. If you look closer at USD on the monthly time frame, price was initially in a range or a consolidation. Why? Because we saw horizontal level of buy pressure and then horizontal level of sell pressure on USD here on the monthly time frame, which gave us what? A range or a consolidation period. But this range or consolidation period has been broken to the downside with a very strong push. So where is this push on the monthly going? This push is heading all the way to the next monthly support level below. So USD, we understand from the monthly that price is dropping all the way to the downside. But how are we going to be able to find selling opportunities to sell from here all the way to the downside? Let's take it further to So up next is EURUSD. Now EURUSD, let us also begin on the monthly time frame. Now if you look very closely at EURUSD on the monthly time frame, price was initially in a range or a consolidation period. Why? Because there was equal level of buy pressure and an equal level of sell pressure above as well. All right, so the next pair on the list is going to be EURUSD. We are also going to begin from the monthly time frame as usual. Now, the monthly time frame of EURUSD, we have the monthly upper zone, the mid-range zone, and then the lower zone. Let's try and explain the monthly time frame very clearly. If you look very closely at the monthly time frame, we are seeing horizontal level of buy pressure and then horizontal level of sell pressure above as well. So this was what a range or a consolidation period that was happening on USD monthly time frame, but price was able to break below the mid-range zone or the range on the monthly all the way to the downside. Now this is called a push on the monthly time frame, and a push usually ends as an area of what? Sensitivity. So on the monthly time frame, this push is heading all the way to the next what? Support level as what? Lower low before price may go for lower high, and the cycle continues to the downside as well. So now that we understand on the monthly that price is moving all the way to the downside as lower low on the monthly time frame, then what are we going to do? We are going to capitalize on that lower low before it completes on the monthly support level. So the question is, how are we going to be able to find selling opportunities from here to sell all the way to the downside on USD? Let's find out as we move through the various time frames together. So USD, I'm going to take it further to weekly time frame to have a better explanation of the entire structure as well. All right, so let's switch all the way to a weekly time frame for further analysis. Okay, so this is USD on the weekly time frame. Let's put meaning into the weekly as well. Now, the weekly time frame, we also have the weekly upper zone and the weekly lower zone. If you look closer at the weekly, you can clearly see that what price moving in a downtrend, supporting the overall direction of the market. So this was what lower low on the what the weekly time frame. Price give us lower high, equal low, equal lower high again, and we are seeing sell pressure bringing the market all the way to the downside. Now we are not just seeing sell pressure, we are also seeing what an evening star candle confirmation or strong bearish what reversal candle, which tells us that indeed there's going to be more sell pressure to bring the market further to the downside. So USD, we are going to take you through the daily and the 4 time frame where we look for selling opportunities somewhere around here to sell all the way to the downside on USD. So USD, let's take it further to day time frame for more understanding. All right, so this is the daily time frame on USD. Let's put meaning into it very quick as well. Now, USD on the daily time frame, we have the daily upper zone and the daily lower zone over here as well. Now, the daily time frame, we saw strong level of sell pressure on the weekly resistance level over here. Price came all the way with the sell pressure, broke below the daily support level, and then we are now trading below what? The daily support level. So this one, break below the daily support level, also tells us that indeed sellers are much more in control and they are pushing the market further to the downside. So in the daily time frame, we are likely to see what? Daily lower low, daily lower high, before price will continue to sell all the way further to the weekly. Or we're also going to be seeing what? Either what? A continuation of the move, break below, retest, and the cycle also continues to the downside. But either ways, all that we are looking for is what? There's a selling opportunity below the daily support level all the way down to the next what? Support level. As what? As lower low on the daily, because price will go up what? Lower high, and the cycle may continue to the downside from there. All right, so let's take it all the way to the 4 time frame and look for a selling opportunity below this daily support level to the downside. All right, so Euro USD, we are taking it all the way to a 4 time frame for our entry. All right, so this is the 4 time frame on Euro USD. Now, Euro USD on the 4 time frame, let's put our final touch on this pair. Now, the 4 time frame price also in the downtrend. We saw what? A push to the downside, which has given us what? The lower low on the 4H. This is also a lower high, and the price has dropped back to what? The previous lower low over here. So there are 2 things that can happen here before we pick our entry. Number one is that if price finds buy pressure on this support level, it will go up for another retest as well, lower high or equal lower high on the 4 hour before you may see sell pressure bring the market all the way to the downside. Or if price also breaks below, it will give us what? A new lower low, a new lower high, and it will also sell in that manner also. Okay, so both ways are true for the entry. So as I said, the first one is that if price goes back to retest this will give us what? Another lower high on the daily resistance, and then we are going to sell in this what particular manner. So if this what kind of structure happens, then this is how we are going to pick our sell on Euro USD. Okay, so this is our first setup on Euro USD in case this setup plays out. And as I said, we're picking entry right here on candle confirmation before we sell all the way to the downside. If this what entry or this structure also fails, then we move on to the second one. So what is the likely or the second likely option to happen? It is also will happen in this manner when price breaks below, gives us a new lower low, a new lower high, and we can also sell all the way down to the daily support level as well in this manner. In this manner. All right, so that is it also for what? Euro USD. Let's dive into the next pair on the list this weekend. All right. All right, so the next pair on the list is going to be BTC USD. Let us also dive into it as usual. Now, BTC USD, we also start on the monthly time frame. We have the monthly upper zone, the mid-range zone, and then the lower zone as well. What has happened on the monthly time? On the monthly time for BTC USD, price moving an uptrend. We saw higher high here, higher low. Price broke above this what? Previous high, gave us a new higher high, and it's dropping all the way down for what? Another higher low before the cycle continues to the downside. So if you look very closely at the monthly time frame, after price completed what? The new higher high over here, it has given us a bearish engulfing candle close, indicating that it is indeed dropping all the way back for what? For retest on the monthly support level over here. So since price is dropping all the way down to a monthly support level, then what are we going to do? We are going to find entry to capitalize on that movement before it completes over here as higher low. So how are we going to pick our sell? Let's take it all the way to a weekly time frame for more understanding. Okay, so this is also the weekly time frame of BTC USD. Now, BTC USD on the weekly time frame, we have a weekly mid-range zone over here. Now, if you look closer at the weekly, after price made contact with the monthly resistance, it has given us what? A double top. What is a double top? A double top is a sign of what? A reversal, or it's a reversal pattern. Now, what has price done over here? Has price been able to reverse? Yes. Why? Because when price gave us this push the upside as high, dropped down for higher low, went up again for another what? Equal high. It came up for another higher low. It couldn't continue going further up. Instead, what did it do? It broke below the support level, which has caused what? A break of structure here on the weekly time. So if you look at the weekly, price has been able to break below the weekly support level to the downside. Now, after a break below, what should happen next? That's right. Retest before what? Price drops all the way to the downside as well. So BTC USD on the weekly time frame, we are going to see what? The weekly retest of this level as lower high before it continues to drop further to the downside. So if you look closely again at the weekly, what you're going to notice what? Is a pin bar or a pin. So this pin is caused by bias, indicating that what? They are pushing the market all the way to the upside as lower high before what? It sells further to the downside. Now, since buyers are pushing the market all the way up as lower high before it sells all the way to the downside, then what are we going to do? We are going to capitalize on that lower high before the overall direction sets in to sell. All right, so let's take it all the way to the daily time frame for more understanding. All right, so this is the daily time frame of Euro USD. Now, if you look closer at Euro USD on the daily time frame, we're also going to put meaning into it. We have our daily mid-range zone over here. So what is happening daily? Remember, this was the weekly push to the downside. And like I said, we're waiting for what? Weekly exhaustion. And then the cycle continues all the way to the downside as well. So looking closer at the daily again, we can see a pin bar, a strong bullish pin bar over here, which tells us that indeed buyers are strong and they will be pushing the market up for retest as lower high before what? Sellers come in again to sell. So what are we doing again? We are capitalizing on the lower high before it completes on the weekly resistance level. All right, so let's take it again to daily time frame. I mean the 4-hour time frame, where we are going to look at how we are going to pick our entry from here all the way to the resistance level as lower high on the weekly and also on the daily as well. All right, so let's take it all the way to 4H. To 4H. All right, so this is the 4-hour time frame of BTC USD. Let's put meaning into the 4-hour time frame as well. So on the 4H time frame, we also have our 4H upper zone and our 4H lower zone. What is happening on the 4-hour time frame? On the 4-hour time frame, price has broken structure to the upside. Let me explain. So initially, we saw a downtrend, which was at this lower low, lower high again, under lower low, another lower high, under lower low, under lower high. But sellers couldn't continue the move further to the downside. Instead, it has broken above, giving us what? A higher high. After higher high, what should happen next? Higher low before the cycle continues all the way to the upside. So on the 4-hour time frame, there are two questions that we can ask over here. Will sellers be able to push the market to come down as higher low to find buy pressure on this support level for us to buy all the way to the upside? Or are buyers going to be able to break about the 4-hour resistance level now to the upside, retest to complete the what? The lower high on the weekly and on the daily. So let's find out. So we are going to make provisions for those two what? Scenarios. So the first entry is going to be in this manner. Since price has not breaking about the 4-hour resistance level, then we are expecting sell pressure to bring the market down here as retest as higher low and then before price goes all the way to the upside. So this is our first entry scenario on BTC USD. First entry scenario. First entry scenario on BTC USD. So this is going to be BTC USD first entry scenario. Very beautiful one. So if this entry scenario fails, then we go with the second entry scenario. What's the second entry scenario? The second entry scenario is that if buyers are able to break above this resistance level of the 4-hour time frame, that will be a push. Wait for retest, and we also buy all the way to what? The weekly resistance level in this manner. So this is also our second entry scenario on BTC USD. So BTC USD, we are done over here. We are going to move on to the next pair on the list. All right, so what's the next pair on the list? Let's move quickly and find out. All right, so next pair on the list is NZD USD. Let's dive into it. So NZD USD, we have the monthly upper zone, the mid-range zone, and then the lower zone. Whereas price down on the monthly, it has been able to break below the monthly support level all the way to the downside. And where is this break below heading to? This break below is heading all the way down to the next monthly support level below. So if you look closely, you are going to see what? Signs of more sell pressure, which is the indication of these wick formations over here on the monthly time frame, indicating that there's more sell pressure to continuously push the market all the way to the downside. So how are we going to be able to find selling opportunities to the downside on NZD USD? Let's find out as we go through the various time frames together. So I'm going to switch very quickly to weekly time frame for more understanding. All right. So this is the weekly time frame of NZD USD. Now NZD USD on the weekly time frame, we have the weekly upper zone and the weekly lower zone. What's the price doing on the weekly? On the weekly, we are seeing a very beautiful downtrend. price gave us a lower low, a lower high, equal low, equal lower high, and we are seeing sell pressure bringing the market also to the downside. So if you look closely, price has what? Closed in a very nice evening star candle confirmation, which are more indications that you are indeed dropping all the way to the downside on NZD-USD as well. So NZD-USD, how can we find a selling opportunity to sell all the way to a downside on this pair? Let's take it further to daily time frame for more understanding. All right, so this is the daily time frame of NZD-USD. Let's put meaning into it as well. So in the daily, we have the daily upper zone and the daily lower zone as well. What has happened on the daily time frame? On the daily time frame, price gave us a double top, came all the way down, broke below the neckline of the double top, which has given us what? A lower low after that. What happens? Lower high, and then the cycle continues all the way to a downside. So NZD-USD, we are expecting price to go all the way up, retest this level as lower high before we can pick ourselves all the way to the downside of this pair. All right, so let's take it all the way to a 4-hour time frame and then prepare for entry to the upside or to the downside, sorry. All right, so this NZD-USD on the 4-hour time frame. Now the 4-hour time for NZD-USD, just like we said, on the day time frame, there's going to be more buy pressure from this daily support level to push the market all the way up as we test before the cycle continues all the way to a downside. So NZD-USD, okay, we are waiting for the retest to complete on this resistance level as lower high before we'll be able to sell all the way to a downside on this place. So NZD-USD, this is also a full and complete technical analysis. Very simple setup and a very straightforward setup as well. Okay, so entry comes in after what? A bearish engulfing candle close, significant pin bar or evening star at the completion of the retest over here before we sell all the way to a downside on NZD-USD. So NZD-USD, this is our full and complete technical analysis. Now, what can potentially make this setup invalid? That is, if price fails to go all the way up as the retest and instead it continuously sees sell pressure to break below this level, then this setup becomes what? Invalid for entry. Now, with this particular setup that I'm giving to you guys, don't also say that what you are buying from here to this level and then you sell. No. That's why you have what? A way that it can become invalid. So the way that it can become invalid is by breaking below. So if you buy over here to reach this resistance level, price will break below and you find yourself wanting. So don't be in that position. Just wait for one move. Price should just give you what? The retest, lower high, and you pick yourself all the way down on NZD-USD. So NZD-USD, this also a full and complete technical analysis. Let's see if I can add one more pair and then we call it a day on today's pre-market analysis. All right, so our last pair for today is SHIB JPY. Now let us also dive into it. Now SHIB JPY, we have the monthly upper zone, the mid-range zone, and then the lower zone. What has price done on the monthly time frame? On the monthly, price have seen sell pressure from the monthly resistance level and has dropped all the way back to its previous higher low or the support level of the monthly. So the question is, once price has made contact with the support level, are we going to see a continuation of buy pressure to the upside from the monthly support, or we are going to see sellers break below to bring the market further to the downside? Now, these two questions can be answered as we take you through the various time frames. So, SHIB JPY, let's take it further to weekly time frame for more understanding. But before we even go to the weekly time frame, let me give you guys a clue as to whether price will be able to break below or not here on the monthly. So, if you look at the monthly time frame, what are you going to see? You're going to see that after price made contact with this monthly support level, we haven't seen any form of buy pressure, but you're only seeing sell pressure, which is this bearish pin bar. So this tells us that although price on support level, but we are seeing more sellers, which is an indication that sellers will be able to break below to the downside. So this question has been answered right exactly on the monthly. So let's go to the weekly time frame and add more explanation as to why price will be able to break below the monthly support level to the downside. All right, let's take it all the way to a weekly time frame for more understanding. Okay, so this is the weekly time frame of SHIB JPY. Now, SHIB JPY on the weekly time frame, we have the weekly upper zone and the weekly lower zone. Price has also been able to break below the weekly support level to the downside, which is also an indication that sellers are much more in control. So if you look closely, you're going to see a bearish engulfing candle close over here, which is telling that there's more sell pressure after they break below this support level, and then sellers will be able to break below to drop further to the downside. All right, let's take it all the way again to daily time frame. Understand the daily flow of things before the 4-hour time frame for entry as well. All right, let's go to daily. All right, so this is the daily time frame of SHIB JPY. Now, SHIB JPY on the daily time frame, we are seeing what? A downtrend on the day. So if you look closely, the downtrend began from the up here, creating lower lows, and then what? Lower highs as well over here as well. So if you look closely, okay, you can see continuous what? Lower lows and lower highs, which brought the market all the way to a down. So this is what? The new lower low that has formed. This is the new lower high. We are expecting price to break below to create what? Another new lower low, another new lower high, and the cycle continues like that to a downside. So let's take it all the way to a 4 time frame and then prepare for entry to the downside on SHIB JPY. So SHIB JPY, taking it all the way to the 4 time frame for our entry. All right, so this is the 4 time frame of SHIB JPY, and this is how we are going to pick our entry all the way to a downside on SHIB JPY. So SHIB JPY on the 4 time frame, we have our 4-hour what? Middle zone over here. What do we see on the 4 time frame? Currently on the 4 time frame, what we are seeing is more of what? A range or a consolidation period, right? Because there's equal level of buy pressure on this monthly support level, and there's equal level of buy pressure or sell pressure at the 4 resistance level, which tells us that what? We are in a range or consolidation period. So here we are expecting the range to break below to give us what? The lower low on this 4H, lower high, before we can sell all the way to the downside. So if price does break below the 4-hour support level over here, or the monthly support level, which is the same thing, then we are going to wait for what? The retest, and then we start selling all the way to the downside as well on SHIB JPY. So SHIB JPY, this is our next one selling opportunity all the way to the downside. Once price breaks below, we will know where to set our target, and that will be it also for what? For SHIB JPY. So the SHIB JPY, this is our full and complete technical analysis. If you love what I'm doing over here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, and then don't forget to also join my free signals group. The link is on my bio. Guys, joining the free signals group is very, very important, because most of the persons I've analyzed over here, once the entry is seen, I'm going to be sending it as a free signal into a Telegram channel. So make sure to click the link on the bio or on the description of this video to join what? The free signals group. Thank you all for joining in today. Stay classy and trade classy. Probably I'll bring part 2 of what? The pre-market analysis tomorrow, God willing. Thank you all for joining in. Stay classy and trade classy, guys. Peace. I'm out.